So, online class is a thing that I've been doing. Let's talk about that. Hello, main channel that I have not uploaded anything to in a while. As you can probably tell from my lack of uploads on either of my channels, I have been really busy. The thing I've been busy with is this online class during the second half of my summer. With everything I've been doing with online class, I've noticed a lot of interesting elements that I thought would make a good video and be something that's interesting to talk about. And maybe we can share down in the comments of some things that we've experienced ourselves or things we appreciate and don't like about online class. But today, I have for you my 3 pros and cons of online class. Number 1, conversation. The pro of conversation online is that you can take your time to think about what it is you're trying to say. For me, that is helpful because if I'm trying to think a million miles per hour, words don't come out the way I'd like. And that way I can sit, write, and think about what it is I'm saying, and also attempt to sound smarter than I actually am, which only goes well maybe half of the time. On the flip side of this, I personally feel it's less of a true class discussion and slightly more of someone replying to a friend's post on Facebook or something. And the reason I feel this is because when you're in class in person, you get immediate discussions and people are like, oh wait, you said this, so I'm thinking of this, and I want to talk about that and make this comparison. But with discussion online, you make a comment and then you're waiting for a reply, and then you have to go back and reread things. But I don't know, I just like the quick conversation bits and less of like having to wait for a reply. Don't get me wrong, it's still interesting in it of itself because I also feel like people are willing to admit things that they wouldn't necessarily admit in person. But you also get to have this more personal discussion because it's not absolutely public to everyone, but you get to have this personal conversation that might not necessarily happen if you were in class in person, if that makes sense. Number 2, online class. Let me explain. The pro of it being online is that I feel like our generation does a lot of things online, whether it be social media, making websites, contacting people, or just making amazing things that we can see online and share with the world and share photos and all that wonderful jazz. So why not do education? Why not learn online? I mean, we can do our own Google research and learn things that way. But this is online class where you have a teacher and friends and other students of various ages, and it's a more focused way of learning instead of just being curious about a topic, because you have people who can help guide you, telling you this is right, this is wrong, help you have a better understanding of a subject versus doing a research and then finding conflicting things and then essentially having to have your own belief. In addition, I just feel like since our generation seems to be so good at responding to their notifications on their phone, to texts and social media, so why not apply that same energy in replying to things to an online class discussion forum? With the online class that I'm taking, we are required to reply to at least 2 people. It's usually assigned on a certain day, but it's gotten to the point where we forgo that the day it's supposed to happen because we want to get into the discussion because all of us are enjoying it so much, and I think it's really cool that we are willing to have this discussion. We want to do it, like we want to see, and so like, okay, I've done this a few times where I'm like, okay, has anyone said anything yet? So I log in during my work breaks and quick to see if anyone has said something and try to reply. But yeah, this online class it's interesting. I know I just said in my first point that it becomes more of a Facebook conversation-esque thing and not so much of a human interaction, but it's still cool. I know I'm probably conflicting myself. It makes sense in my head. You can argue about my logic later or in the comments. So what's the con of online class? It's online. The internet and websites are not perfect. Just recently, I had a day where I was playing catch up. I was finishing up one paper, I was starting and finishing another paper, then I took a test online that night, and when I tried to log out, the site had basically crashed. The next morning, I check our Facebook group and see that that's exactly what had happened. So basically what I'm saying is that the fact that class is online is both good and bad. It's good because of how our generation is and how everything is online, but it's also bad because the internet isn't perfect and sites are down and you can't really do anything about it. Number 3, the class itself. The pro of taking a class during the summer is that it allows you to get ahead on your class schedule. If you're someone who takes classes in person on college campus or on your school campus and then is also taking an online class, it allows you to catch up so that you can take other classes in person down the road. So if your school teaches a particular class that you really want to take, but you know it's not going to fit into your schedule, you can take a couple online classes so that way you have more room in the future to take that class you've been wanting to take. So it's kind of a win-win. However, because it's during the summer and you have a shorter amount of time to take this class, summer class becomes more intense, which also means assignments that are given, you get more of them crammed into fewer weeks than a normal school semester. So it's gonna be busy. Another thing that makes online class difficult is because students are working during the summer. It makes summer class difficult because of work schedules and life schedules, because it can be difficult to work around. Just recently, I thought we only had to write one paper during this past week, but instead we had to write 2, and I was freaking out because I also was trying to get ahead so I could go to a Panic at the Disco concert with my sister. What up, t-shirt reference? The struggle of that didn't happen just over 1 week. It was over the past 2 weeks. I had to travel out of state for this concert. So drove up Wednesday, had the concert that night, drove back Thursday. As soon as I got back, I had to finish my bigger paper, start and finish another paper, and then take a test. But trying to work around your own life schedule and trying to get everything done for an online class can be really difficult. Number 4. Alright, listen, I know I had 3 things, but I have a few extra things that I couldn't make a pro and con of. Other elements of online class is studying. It can be good if you're a person who likes to study by themselves, then online class is going to be great because you can study by yourself, because everyone that you know tends to be in different parts of the world, so you can't really study with them unless you are Skyping with them, but you don't know their live schedule. And if you try to work with them, then it can still get difficult because you can only study for so long. And also having to study over Skype can be a little difficult. Also on the subject of studying is that if you are trying to do a study guide and you need help, when you're on campus with friends, you can go to a friend's room and be like, hey, can I get help on this? And they can help you get answers and figure out where they are in the textbook, or you can work on it together to get the thing done. And that's more difficult with online class. And if you want to know that you're getting the best answer possible, then you basically have to contact someone via Facebook Messenger or something. And lastly is attendance. I mean, there's really no con to this because you do class on your own time. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. This has been something that has been on my mind that I've been wanting to talk about, and since I know I haven't made a video on my main channel in a while, I wanted to do this because I thought it was interesting to me, and I hope it was interesting for you guys. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to click on these red subscribe buttons to subscribe to the respective channels, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye! I almost knocked my camera over. Oh, joy.